Let me rephrase it. What I'm saying is can you tell me what is the requirement? Are we fulfilling the sequence of events? Okay, this is going to happen, and this is the step 1 we'll do. And this is the step 2 we'll do. We'll create a workflow, and we'll do this. We'll add this workflow to this thing. And then this is going to happen. And this is how we'll fulfill the client this kind of a requirement. This is what I'm just trying to understand. When are we going to do this? You have explained us how we are going to do this, but what are we going to do? This is what I want to explain. Okay. What will be the client requirement? Yeah, definitely client. Yes. So these are the base applications we need to provide whenever employees going to onboard. It could be some 2, 3 application basically. In that Active Directory. Definitely will be there. So first of all, okay, perfect. Alright, in work rate provisioning 90% of the time AD application will be there. So whenever the employee is going to join event, each and everything will get triggered automatically. We won't do anything. The moment HR has updated, aggregation has happened. So AD account will be created immediately. And as part of the 4 sub workflow. Okay, so as part of trigger leave an event, join an event, also the same 5 sub workflow is going to trigger. And as part of the 4 sub workflow, credential will be shared with your requester and manager. So, like Active Directory, we'll be having some more application access. Base level application access. So this is 1. So this is this is what you're saying is, we have to create a workflow inside that workflow. We have to write this code for the provisioning plans and specify everything, and have this workflow in place, and then tag this workflow with different events. This is what you want to say, right? Right. Okay, this is what I'm trying to understand where. What will happen when? Yeah. Okay. So you told it now from project perspective initially what will happen. So initially, if the project is not stabilized, it is in the initial state. Definitely. We check with them how the provisioning is going to happen. So what kind of base birthright application, base level access they have to provide? They will say, like Active Directory, 90% definitely will be there even today. Okay, using that only they will be able to log into their Windows. If it is Linux or any other voice. I'm not sure on that, but 90% time. I mean Active Directory upon will be there. The application will be there. Some other LDAP application also will be there. And some client will say we have to provide service no access as well. So in that scenario, so in the same joiner workflow, we will add some more application access. So we now open has to be create in that we are going to add some entitlement or rules. So this is how the workflow we will create. And, as part of the joiner event, it will get triggered and the account will be created. So basic level access. Is it clear now, Vinay? Yes. The first time it's going to happen. So what? I'm talking about the general term, how the provisioning is going to happen. Whether they have a phone. They don't have a phone. The application could be anything in the general time. I'm seeing the provisioning. So this is the default one. We didn't make any changes on this. Out of the box provisioning workflow. and this provisioning workflow in the particular application. Let's say you have an application where you didn't declare anything. The custom provisioning or custom rules. You didn't declare anything. Let's say this, provisioning the Prism application. Yeah. Okay. So here I have mentioned some rules to follow the provisioning. I don't want to use the out-of-the-box provisioning. Let's say consider. I don't want to use some out-of-the-box provisioning for this application. In that scenario, I have created some rule and workflow and have configured. That's what I'm trying to show here for this application. Okay. So in that scenario, what it will do whenever the provisioning plan will be generated after that, its particular rule, which you have selected in that application. It will follow those steps. It won't go for the out-of-the-box provisioning. So that's what it means. Okay. Here you can go to Rules now. Here you can check. Here I have mentioned for each and everything to create, to delete, to unlock, to disable, I have created. I have created these new rules. Do we? Yeah, do we? Are we going to create that in a directory application as well? I mean for every application or not? It's up to the client requirement how they want to flow the provisioning. Are they fine with out-of-the-box? No need to create. If they are not satisfied with out-of-the-box provisioning, in that scenario you have to create. Okay, when are we going to decide they are okay with out-of-the-box or not? Is it the customization? The level of customization? Or like, how will that be decided? Because what they want is like. What they want is account needs to be created. This is what they want. And with no time, without being slow, and everything and instantly. No errors, nothing. Right. So it's our duty to decide what is the best method of doing it. Right. So I'll get the requirement from architect. They will say, you have to create, and we will create. So in that scenario, I don't have an idea. From client perspective. Okay. We'll get the requirement, we'll create. So from how? From client? I'm not sure. Okay, so you're saying there are two ways of doing it. One under the application, have these rules? And when we enable these rules because the application doesn't, it's not going to follow the out-of-the-box provisioning. So in that scenario, we have to pick this. This is how we are going to customize. Okay, perfect. So when we select all these buttons or something, does it open some kind of a window to write code? Or like what happens exactly? If you're going to click on this 3-dot, it will allow you to create. Or else you can go to the debug page. From there you can open and you can create. So these are all rules. Okay, using these rules workflow, you can achieve. So let's say that create provisioning plan. Nothing will be there. You are going to capture the data. You are going to insert into this database this value into the database, which means the target system. Okay, so each and everything will be there. You can check. Okay. So okay, Rocket. So are we going to please share that workflow file? Because it has some code written,